Hello, kings and queens. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Intentionally Yours. This platform is designed to offer a refreshing and thoughtful approach to the discussion of living on purpose. It is my hope and my prayer that as we continue to engage, we will have the ability to deliberately design our lives according to our values, our goals, and our priorities to help us get results that are intentionally ours. As usual, I am your hostess and favorite online fitness coach, Adesua. Now, today I have come again for my queens. Today's topic is for my queens. Marriages are scattering left, right, and center. It has become a phenomenon. You go for a wedding today, you have spent so much on ashwabi. Before your clothes even have the time to spend 2 months in the closet, you are hearing that the marriage is over. What is the cause of this? If you have as to what you think would be the leading cause of divorces in our time, please drop it in the comment section. I really would love to read it and get all of his opinion. But I have come today from my experience of being around married women for over 17 years and having the privilege of having spoken to a lot that are in difficult situations that have led to divorce, or some who were in situations that have been able by the grace of God to walk through it, to come with what I feel is one of the causes or a few of the causes of the reasons for divorce in our time today. I am hoping that this will help one or two queens in their decision to pick a spouse. So let's get right into it. Majority of women do want to settle down and have a family and kids. Women do want to be settled. But when we are choosing or accepting to marry certain men in our lives, are they meeting the criteria of husbands that will make a marriage last? Now, queens, I am talking to those of you who understand that there is a work that should have been done in yourselves, and you have taken the time to do that work. Feminists may disagree with me, which is fine. We can all agree to disagree. But I have also seen in the news where some feminists who have spoken about not needing a man eventually do get married and are actually excited. So, I don't know, but I am speaking knowing that majority of women want to settle down and have a home. Now, in a later episode, I will come to my kings to tell them what to avoid in any woman that they want to marry. But like aforementioned, this is for my queens. I am coming with 5 attributes that I personally feel that any woman who wants to settle down with a man needs to look out for and avoid at all costs. Some of these attributes are things I have personally experienced and some that I have also heard of and I have seen that has made the marriages not to work. We are going to start with the first one, which I am going to tag the God complex. Ladies, queens, run from any man who has a God complex. A God complex shows in attributes like this. A man, first of all, that doesn't even pray, that doesn't trust God. A man who has no one that he listens to but himself. He will have no mentor. He can have his parents being alive, but he will take no counsel from them, which simply means this man takes counsel from himself. He feels like he knows it all and he is God. When it even comes to professions, you can find him arguing with a doctor about the doctor's profession, argue with an engineer, a lawyer, a farmer, because he is all occupations in one. Yet, he is not financially able in most of the cases I have seen. Run from such men, my queens, because at first, You may be deceived into thinking that, oh, because he listens to only you, that means the love for you is astronomical. When you get to the point in your marriage where the love fizzles out, which of course he definitely will, and he stops listening to you, when you have issues, who are you going to turn to speak to such a man? There is no one he listens to. In most cases that I have seen, because there is no one he listens to, he is not humble. He actually doesn't know anything, because it is humble to learn. It is humility to admit that I do not know and I need help. It is humility to come under the tutelage of someone, knowing and recognizing that this person has something that you would like to have. It is humility to submit to authority. A man with a God complex is not humble. And that is someone, my queens, that from my experience, I would advise you to run from. The second type of man I would advise you to run from when you want to settle down is a man without a vision. I believe in one of my videos, I said that I sat down with some people and they told me that men like to lead. Men truly like to lead. But a man without a vision is actually at his destination because he is going nowhere. You are with a man like that and you two are going nowhere. He doesn't know where he's going, and because he's going nowhere, he is easily distracted. There is no focus on the destination. I always tell people, if you do not set a destination for where you are going to and you go on the road, where in God's name do you think you are heading to? You are going nowhere very fast. Let us not mix busyness with progress. There actually is a difference. Queens, if you know you have a vision and are heading somewhere, do not fall for a man who has no vision. The third one I want to talk about, I'm going to use the acronym ATNA, which simply means all talk, no action. This man is amazing at giving promises. When your birthday is coming, one of the promises you hear is, I was going to, but I never did. He's always going to do something, but he never does it. He's always signing a contract with one minister, and the amount of money he'll be calling, his imaginary doings will be large amounts. It's never amounts that are reasonable. There are always amounts that are really, really large. And this kind of man is a sweet talker. He can talk your wig off your head. But at the end, or in the end, there is nothing to show for it. Just like the man without a vision that is going nowhere. There's all talk, no action too. He's going nowhere. And most of the things I've noticed with all talk, no action, they tend to be quite insecure, especially if they are with a woman who has a vision. And someone once told me something. You cannot expect security from someone who is insecure. So my queens, the ATNA, please flee. The fourth one I will be talking about is unaligned values. I think sometimes we don't take this one very, very important. And for this one, it doesn't necessarily mean that the man is not doing well for himself or he doesn't have a vision. The man might actually be doing very well for himself, but your vision and his do not align. The Bible clearly states that if two work together if they do not agree? No. Don't sit with a man and because you feel physically he has everything that you have and you would want, and financially he is okay, and your values do not align, you think that when you get into the marriage, things are going to change. Things will not change. If your core values do not align, that marriage will not last. Because I always say that butterflies do die, and yes, they die with their wings cut off and then they decay. Then what? What holds you people together? What binds you together? God, your values, your core values. It will help you. So no matter how sophisticated and charming and wonderful a man is, if your values do not align, please, my queens, do not go there. The fifth one and the final one that I will be talking about is a man in his soft girl era. A man in his soft girl era. I grew up with a very strong father, a father who led in every ramification of the word, financially, emotionally, spiritually, all round. Physically, my father was a leader. Thus, the men around him, the men I got to know and I grew up with men who led and derived pleasure in leading. But as I've come, maybe it's the era of social media, we tend to find more and more men who want to be led. These men want to be in their soft girl era. And for you to be in your soft girl era, that means you do want someone to look after you and someone to lead. And most times, who takes on this position? You, my queens. Before you know it, you are the one wearing the pants in the relationship because you married a man who wants to be in his soft girl era. That is never going to make any queen feel comfortable because at the end, like I say, men are kings and you are queens. And if you want to use that as the analogy, kings always lead with queens by their sides. And we want kings, men who will take the lead. Maybe in another video, I will point out the qualities of a man who is in his soft girl era. But for women, we have amazing instincts. When we are speaking with someone, we can tell when something doesn't feel right. I call that the Holy Spirit, the intuition in a woman. Do yourself a favor to listen. Because one of the constant things that I have noticed in marriages that have crashed with women that I have spoken to, one thing they always say is, I knew, I felt something wasn't right. But because we are nurturers and we are very emotional, we always feel that we can change a man. You do not have the ability to change anyone. The only power you have is the power to change yourself. That's why the Bible clearly states, remove the log in your eye before you remove the speck in another person's eye. From my experience with being with women for close to married women for close to 18 years, these are the 5 things that I have noticed that have been common in marriages that have crashed. I hope this will be helpful in any one of my queens in finding or not finding, the men find us, in accepting the proposal from any king. It's been helpful to me. If you have stayed with me up until this point, I want to say thank you and to let you know that I do appreciate it. Do leave a heart in the comment section so that when I go through it, I know that you were here. Please subscribe to my channel so that there will be growth and increment in this channel. And when you do, I will be very, very happy. Till I come to you again, do take care of yourselves and each other. And remember to keep your eyes open. Bye.